Let me ask you something. You've probably argued about FIFA rankings before. Maybe you thought your country got robbed. Maybe you couldn't believe some random nation ranked above a team that just beat them. And yet, if someone asked you right now, how does FIFA actually calculate those rankings? Most people go completely silent. Here's the truth. Almost nobody knows how this system works, and the people running the arguments, they definitely don't. So in the next few minutes, we're going to fix that. Because once you understand what's actually happening behind these numbers, you'll never look at a ranking the same way again. And there's one thing about this system that FIFA quietly changed a few years ago that almost broke everything. We'll get to that. First, what even are the FIFA rankings? FIFA publishes a global ranking of every men's national football team on the planet, over 200 of them. It updates roughly every month. Teams earn points. More points, higher rank. Simple enough. Except it's not simple at all. Here's the core mechanic. Every time a national team plays a match, they either earn points or they don't. The result matters, obviously. Win, you get points. Draw, you get some. Lose, you get nothing. But FIFA doesn't just care that you won, they care who you beat. Beating the Faroe Islands feels great. FIFA barely notices. Beating Brazil? Now we're talking. The opponent's ranking directly affects how many points you can earn from any single match. Think of it like leveling up in a video game. Grinding against easy opponents gives you almost nothing. You want the big fights. Now here's where the opponent ranking thing gets a little weird. FIFA uses something called the opponent's strength, but it's calculated using a formula. The higher ranked the team you beat, the more points on offer. But the scale isn't linear. They're tiers, and the difference between beating the 10th ranked team versus the 50th ranked team is enormous in terms of point value. In theory, this rewards teams for being ambitious. In practice, it means smaller nations can spend years playing matches against other small nations and barely move at all. They're essentially treading water. But wait, what kind of matches actually count? This is the part most people completely miss. Not every game counts equally. FIFA splits matches into categories based on competition type. A friendly match, like a random Tuesday kickoff, earns the least points. A continental qualifier earns more. A continental championship earns more than that, and the World Cup itself, that's the maximum multiplier. So two teams can play the exact same result, say a 2-0 win, and earn completely different point totals depending on what competition it's in. Your team won a friendly? Cool. Here's roughly 40% of what you would have earned in a competitive match. Thanks for participating. Here's where it gets really interesting. FIFA also uses something called a time decay. Your recent matches matter more than your old ones. Points from 3 or 4 years ago are still counted, but they're worth progressively less. The formula looks back across a rolling window of matches and weights newer results higher. This is why strong teams can suddenly drop. If a big nation had incredible results 3 years ago, but has been inconsistent lately, those old points are quietly fading. The rankings are slowly forgetting their golden era. And for smaller teams, this works in their favor. One hot tournament run can genuinely catapult them up the table. Not forever, but enough to matter. So why does any of this matter beyond bragging rights? The World Cup. That's why. FIFA uses these rankings to determine seeding when the World Cup draw happens. The top-ranked teams get placed into separate pots, which essentially protects them from facing each other in the group stage. In other words, rankings decide who gets the easier path to the knockout rounds. The rankings aren't just a scoreboard, they're a competitive advantage. Now, about that change FIFA made. Before 2018, the old FIFA ranking formula was famously broken. Teams could game it by playing lots of low-level friendlies. Nations would schedule easy opponents constantly just to accumulate points. It was basically points farming. FIFA scrapped that system and rebuilt it using something called the ELO rating method, borrowed directly from chess. The new system is far more logical. It accounts for expected outcomes. If a top 10 team beats a bottom 50 team, that's expected. You get minimal points. But if that same bottom 50 team pulls off the upset, The system rewards that massively because the probability of it happening was so low. It finally made the rankings mean something. Not perfect, but dramatically better. So here we are. You started this video probably just knowing that rankings exist and arguments happen around them. Now you know the truth. Every match has a point value based on who you're playing and what competition it's in. Recent results matter more than old ones. The system rewards upsets and punishes grinding against weak teams, and those rankings directly shape the World Cup draw, which means they shape who lifts the trophy. The FIFA rankings aren't just a scoreboard, they're a game within the game. So, next time someone says their team got robbed in the rankings, ask them who they've actually been beating lately. That tends to end the conversation pretty fast. If you want more videos that break down the systems behind football that nobody explains properly, you know what to do. Subscribe. We do this every week.